All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vincent Molden, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement and Constituent Services for County Executive Stuart Pittman, and I have the pleasure of moderating today's webinar. So thank you all for joining us today in what we're calling Season 2 of Engage Arundel webinar, our series. And today's title is called Ride Free, Travel Smart, Your Guide to Our County Transit Options. So we're excited. We have the transportation team here with us today to answer all your questions and to give you an overview of what free options we have. But before we get started, I do want to take a moment to talk about Engage Arundel, which is the Office of Community Engagement and Constituent Services proactive engagement strategy. And it's meant to foster collaboration between community and government, increasing communication, transparency, and the initiative combines online resources, much like you're at today, along with in-person events. So if you have never visited before, I encourage you to go to aacounty.org/engagearundel to see all the great resources we pulled together for you there. All right. Now, again, before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping rules to help orient you to the Zoom platform. A couple of things. Today's webinar will be recorded. So if you do need to step away for a moment, or if you would like to review anything we talked about today, there will be a recording posted to the county's YouTube page. And we'll be sending it out after this presentation as well. A copy of the presentation will be sent, so anything you see on your screen will also be shared with you. And if you have any questions during the presentation, we encourage you to use the Q&A function located at the bottom of your screen to put the question in. We'll try our best to answer in real time as we have a full panel of experts here with us today, but we'll also take some time at the end to go through as many questions as possible. And any questions that were submitted prior to the webinar will either be answered throughout the presentation or answered directly. So thank you again for joining us. And now we'll get into the official webinar. So I talked a little bit about our fantastic Office of Transportation, and the person who leads that office is Sam Sneed. He's the director of the Office of Transportation. Mr. Sneed brings a wealth of experience in transportation, planning, policy development, and project management with over 20 plus years in the industry. Previously, he was the head transportation planner for Baltimore County, where he wrote the grant and spearheaded the implementation of the Towson Loop. He also served with the U.S. Department of Transportation as a senior program manager, where he oversaw the delivery of a multi-billion-dollar grant portfolio for the Federal Highway Administration and the Federal Transit Administration. Mr. Sneed holds a bachelor's degree in urban studies with a focus on infrastructure from Brown University, a master's in community planning from the University of Rhode Island, and a master's in management from American Public University. Whew. He is joined today by several members of his team to both partner in giving the presentation and help answer any of your questions. On the webinar today, we have Crystal McGill-Belk. She's our transit administrator. Andrew Deal, who's our transit innovation planner. Rodney Tasker, operations manager. Jessica Charles Allen, excuse me, our marketing manager. Kira Randolph, TDM manager. Daniel Allen, assistant planner. And Vera Day, human service coordinator. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Vincent. Once again, I appreciate the introduction, but also the opportunity for the Office of Community Engagement to give us more visibility amongst our constituents. Today, we're going to not only highlight our system, but also introduce you to some of our talented staff. I'm going to share the presentation with you in a moment. So our focus today is really on the free transit services we offer at the Office of Transportation for all Anne Arundel County residents and visitors. We'll be going over a variety of things, including our on-demand apps, what our routes are, really understanding how to use the system, and the vehicles and facilities we operate. And the Office of Transportation provides fare-free transit. Our network is comprised of a combination of fixed route and on-demand zonal services and on-demand countywide paratransit elderly services that serve not only our county residents, but also our visitors. We have 8 traditional fixed routes, which run along major corridors within the county, north, south, and east, west. And we also have 2 on-demand zones, one in the more rural South County portion of Anne Arundel and one in the more urban, suburban North County. And we also have an elderly paratransit system, and we provide dialysis transport as well. We'll be going over how to use all of our apps, and hopefully that'll make your life a lot easier and alleviate some stress when it comes to using a new type of service. And I do want to reemphasize that these services are all free services. You can see a picture of Cromwell Station. Several of our buses terminate at this location, and that is a rail that goes to Baltimore City and Greater Baltimore County. I want to introduce you first to Andrew Deal. He is our Transit Innovation Planner. He's behind a lot of the GIS-based software and the tracking software for our buses and implementing and operating it throughout the day. He has a high familiarity with our routes and our system, and he'll be walking you through all the fixed routes. Then we'll move on to Jessica Charles Allen. She's our marketing manager, and she'll speak to our on-demand zones. And then finally, Kiera Randolph will present on how to use our applications. Then we'll come back to me and discuss some of the interesting capital projects we have going forward in the near future. I'm gonna shut down for a moment and switch over to Andrew.
Thank you very much, Sam, for that introduction. So as you said, I'm going to go over our fixed route options, just the nuts and bolts of how our fixed route system operates and what the major routes are. Okay, so we currently operate 8 fixed routes. We have 2 in, we basically have a loop system that goes throughout the county. We have one that goes up 97, and we have a spur that goes to Fort Meade. We'll go into those individually, but this is just the general list of which routes we currently operate. Our first one, we call it our 201, Arundel Mills, Pasadena. This is our most popular route. It goes from the hub at Arundel Mills Mall, makes a brief tour to the industrial park and around Magellan Circle. Then it goes along Dorsey Road to the Glen Burnie Light Rail Station, through the Glen Burnie proper, down to the apartment complex at Heritage at Freetown. And then just recently, a few months ago, we extended this out to Jacobsville and Lakeshore Plaza. And we are currently upgrading all the signs along this route. So this is one of our major routes for hitting a lot of the major points of interest in North County. And this is just a video that we have on our website that explains to you what the route is and how it operates. So I'll go ahead and play this for you. These are available for every single one of our routes. So let's just take a look.
The Anne Arundel County Office of Transportation is excited to offer a free public transit route connecting Arundel Mills to Pasadena. This convenient service also includes stops at Sun Valley Shopping Center, Lakeshore Plaza, and the Glen Burnie Light Rail Station, making it easier than ever to access popular destinations in the area. Operated daily from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. on weekdays and 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. on weekends, this route provides flexible options for your commuting needs. To enhance your travel experience, Download the Passio Go app or visit www.passiogo.com for real-time tracking of service routes. For additional details, please visit the Anne Arundel County website at www.aacounty.org.
All right. Okay, so you just saw that. Again, each one of those videos is available for each of our routes. I should also mention that as I'm going through these are just the major points of interest that each route serves. Each route has close to 50 stops along the entire route. So any housing development, any major shopping center or minor place, that probably has a bus stop there. And we always encourage people to reach out to us if there is a place along one of our fixed routes that we don't currently service. It's generally easy to add a stop there. So reach out to us because we've done that several times in the past. But moving on, this is our 202 route, goes from Arundel Mills down to Odenton. Again, makes a brief stop at the Preston Gateway Industrial Park to serve the Amazon Fulfillment Center, the Coca-Cola bottlers. There's a lot of places of employment there. But then from there, it heads south, hits several residential communities in the Severn area, then goes to the Odenton Mark Station. Right. Our 203 route, this is our Maryland 2 route, goes from the Westfield Annapolis Mall north to Glen Burnie and then back south. So starting from the north, you hit Glen Burnie, goes through downtown, including the satellite campus of Anne Arundel Community College, then Marley Station, Severn Park, the main campus of the community college, and then of course down to Westfield Mall. This is our second most popular route. This is one of our biggest north-south fixed routes in the county. And again, there are multiple stops along Route 2. Basically, any major stop we will service. All right, third is our Brooklyn Park route. As the name suggests, this mainly serves the Brooklyn Park area. Starts at Glen Burnie. We recently added a stop at the Bachman Sports Complex and the Correctional Center there. We're doing some stop upgrades, putting in sidewalk, a new shelter, all kinds of upgrades there. After serving there and Brooklyn Park, it then stops at the Ferndale Light Rail Station and then back to Glen Burnie Light Rail. So this is kind of a loop route that serves the northern section of the county. All right, then next we have our 205 route. This is our other major east-west route. Starts at Odenton Mark Station, goes south to Piney Orchard, through a lot of those residential communities. Then we service the Village at Wow Chapel, the center, the movie theater, all those major stops. We go through the Crofton Country Club, and then finally we go east on, we go east to hit the Westfield Annapolis Mall, and then we turn around and do the route in the same direction. Then next is our 207 Parole route. Again, this is a major circulator for the Parole area, Westfield Annapolis Mall, the Park and Ride, the Heritage Office Complex, Annapolis Harbor Center, Anne Arundel Medical Center, a lot of other things that aren't listed here, like the MVA, the Senior Center, a lot of places along the mall. So this is just generally a circulator route that serves the greater Annapolis area. And then we also offer a spur to Fort Meade that leaves from Odenton Mark. This is only for base workers. You do need an ID to ride this bus, but if you live or work on base and are a commuter that takes the Odenton Mark, this is a great option for you. And we're looking to expand this in the coming weeks to serve more places on base. So that's just an option for you. And then finally, what we're very proud of is recently we started a free shuttle to BWI Airport. Starts from Annapolis Mall. We hit Crownsville, the Park and Ride at Millersville, and then 2 stops at the BWI Airport Terminal. So this is, again, a free service that runs hourly north and south, and parking is available at Millersville. Crownsville, Annapolis is more of a kiss and ride where you drop off. But if you're looking to get to the airport and you don't want to pay for, $30, $40 of parking, this is a great service that you might want to consider. And just to briefly go over, this is what our system has looked like. We've experienced very significant growth. We started in 2018. We're doing okay. We obviously took a hit from COVID, but then starting in 2023, we've really seen our system grow, and we're very proud of the changes we've made because obviously people are appreciating our service and are continuing to use it more and more. So we're constantly looking at ways we can help provide better opportunities and better service to the citizens of Anne Arundel County. All right, and now I'm actually going to turn it over to Jessica Charles Allen. She's going to go over our on-demand services. So go ahead and take it away, Jessica.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon, everyone. Our on-demand service, our North County and South County call and ride, it operates daily from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The only difference is with the South County, it only operates Monday through Friday, where the North County operates Monday through Saturday. This is a curb-to-curb service. It does require 2 hours in advance to schedule. Next slide, please. Right. So North County, it starts in Brooklyn Park. It covers parts of Pumphrey, Ferndale. It loops in the BWI International Airport as well, all the way down to Millersville. Anywhere within this zone, this green zone on the map, you can call us, request a ride at 2 hours in advance, and they will pick you up from your house and take you to your requested destination. We do have to remember that this is a share ride. So sometimes you might have to be picked up a lot earlier than you may want to. But if you give us a chance in that 2 hour window, we'll make sure you get to where you want to go. Next slide, please. This is our South County call and ride service. This covers Davidsonville, parts of Edgewater, Riva, Mayo, all the way down to Tracy's Landing and Churchton, Shady Side as well, anywhere within the green highlighted area. This service, like again, operates only from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Next slide, please. This is our how to ride. As I stated previously, at least 2 hours in advance for your desired trip. Pickups for the next day around 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. We ask that you call the day before around 5, anywhere between 5 and 7 to schedule your early morning pickup. When you call one of our dispatchers, we ask that you please have your exact destination address. And we also encourage you to call back for your pickup times. That is about it. We do have an app that we will later get into called our Pingo app. You can use this app to schedule a ride or communicate with our dispatchers as well. Now I will turn it over to Kira, who's going to talk about our paratransit services. Oh, no, Vera, I'm sorry, to lead us into our paratransit services.
Hello all. Like you stated, my name is Kiera. Thank you for joining the webinar today. I will be discussing our paratransit service. Our paratransit service is a service that is provided to anyone 18 or older with a disability, or if you're 55 or older, to any resident that is in the Anne Arundel County area. We accept for documentations, SSI awarded letters. And far as the application process, with the application process, you're able to call the number listed below, 410-222-0022. And you are able to do a application over the phone, or you can call in, and we also have it attached to our website, and you're able to submit that application via mail. With our paratransit services, we do support senior centers. We also do support doctor's appointments, dialysis as well. Some of the locations that we go to for our senior centers is O'Malley, Pasadena, Annapolis. We have Arnold as well. And then we also have another senior center that is in the South County and Pascal. Far as our locations with the hospitals, something to be mindful of, We do support outside of Anne Arundel County. We go to Baltimore area Monday through Thursdays. And we do only go to the main hospital, no private doctor's appointments. A few of the locations that we support in our paratransit service is going to be Johns Hopkins, University of Maryland, St. Asne's University. We also do Keenan Rehabilitation Center, and then we have Good Samaritan. So these are some locations outside the Anne Arundel County area in Baltimore that you are able to get transit service to within the time of Monday through Thursday. And then we can go to the next slide. And then I would like to also add, we do have Vera. She's not on the call today, but she also has, we do also support some senior centers in the buildings. We also go to your local Walmarts and then also out to eat. So if it's a senior center or a area or a group of seniors that want to go to maybe a store run to Walmart, or even maybe a outing for maybe lunch or dinner. She does support that. She did leave her contact information. We'll add that is on the slide as well. But if you want to kind of take note of that, she does have a contact number. They can call at 443-354-5945 if you guys would like to schedule any type of events to maybe a shopping center or to a restaurant to eat with a group of seniors outside of a senior center. So she did want to let you guys know that you guys can arrange those trips if we do have availability for that to take care to happen. Outside of our paratransit, we do have some supporting resources within Anne Arundel County, which is listed on here. Our Age and Disability Department. We have the County Connect. We have AA Transit. We have Annapolis Transit. We have MTA Maryland. We do also have RTA and then Partners in Care as well. So these are different transit service that we have outside of our paratransit service. As you guys know, we've received a few questions stating that the demand is a service that we do have a high demand for. So just to kind of, put it out there are other services that support the residents of Anne Arundel County. So we just kind of want to let you guys know that as well. There's also application process for these other transit services. And we have this on the slide when we send it out to you guys. You're able to see that. A lot of them you can kind of mail it in, or you can do walk-in to the location to where the services are provided to you. So if you can go to the next slide, please. As stated before by Jessica, these are the applications in transit that support our transit service. You have our Pingo application that supports our on-demand service. And then you have Passio Go. Passio Go supports our fixed routes. And then you have Transit Royale, and that is a transit app which help you with scheduling or booking your transit services through other entities within the county. So these are our three transit apps that we support for our services. And then if you go to the next slide, I will walk you through using Pingo. So this is a Pingo step-by-step guide. All these applications can be located in your app store, whether you're using an Apple device or Android device. So this is Pingo. Pingo has a step one. It says transit that moves with you. Your first step, you want to, download the applications as stated in the first step one, and then you want to go and hit get started. Once you hit get started in this application, you would then use your phone number. They will send you a verification code to the number that you use to sign up for this application. Once you sign up, the verification code comes to your phone, just like any other application that we kind of use on our day-to-day. Within that application, once you're inside of the application, it will give you an option to do your pickup and your destination. Once again, Pingo is our on-demand services, and this is a service that is provided within our South County and our North County. So just be mindful, it is going to be a certain area that is available for the service. We kind of talk about this on demand as, kind of like an Uber or Lyft. But of course, it is free fare. All our transit service for Anne Arundel County is free. But it reminds you like an Uber or Lyft. So as Jessica stated, it's curb to curb services. And you're able to go in there. If you within the South County, you would choose any location within that geo fencing, and you do your to and your from there. Then once you do that, you within that mapping as you see on step 3. You then go to choose your pickup time and your destination. Once you choose your pickup time and your destination, it's going to automatically have the Pingo as a default, because that is what you're going to be using, Pingo. And then it shows you your date and your time. You can do your date and your time within 2 hours. So with Pingo, you have to request a ride within 2 hours of the time you're trying to go. And then it allow you to, choose your date and time. You can do it for currently, or as you see, you can choose time for tomorrow or any time in the future. After, like you said, within that zone of North County and South County, after you choose your time and your date, you then can request your ride. And then, of course, you will receive notifications once that ride has been put inside of a queue for pickup time. If you have, any questions on your ride, or if it's been confirmed or not, you do have the number to call to our dispatchers to confirm that with one of our dispatchers on demand. So any questions, you can drop in the chat, and then we can move on to the next slide. Alrighty, this is Passio Go. I will hand it back over to Andrew. Once again, Passio Go is an application that you guys will use for any of our fixed routes. It will show you real timing on our fixed route, where the vehicle is. So Andrew, turn it over to you, and he'll walk you guys through Passio Go.
All right, thank you very much, Kara. Yes, just what you said. I'm going to briefly demonstrate our Passio Go app. So just give me a second here. Okay, so as you can see, this is the desktop website of our Passio system. Every route is listed here. So we really encourage people to use this rather than our brochures. We understand some people like to be old school, but with this, you can actually see where the buses are in real time. If they're on time, if they're delayed, you can get an accurate ETA for when the bus will arrive. You can even set reminders for yourself, so you don't have to worry about when your bus is coming or try to call into a dispatcher if you think a bus might be late. You can also see other things here, such as how crowded a bus is. This is currently our 203 route. You can see not too crowded, 36% capacity, and it's just leaving Anne Arundel Community College. This is really the best way to view our routes. And a couple more just popped in there. So here's our Brooklyn Park route. Obviously, you can see that, not too crowded, actually not crowded at all. You can see our BWI shuttle service. It's heading up past Gambrels, just left the Millersville Park and Ride, and its next stop is going to be at the terminal. Now, when I went over the fixed routes, I said that there are more than just a few stops. There's actually close to 50. Well, if you zoom in here, you can easily see every single stop that we have on our route and the estimated time. Let's see. So yeah, so here's the middle school, the Marley Middle School southbound. You can see the next bus is scheduled to arrive in 3 minutes, and there it is right there, actually. It's pulling up right now. So this is really a great service, and we encourage many people to use it because if you use our fixed route, this will answer all of your questions. So that's it. If you have any questions, again, please put them in the chat, and we will do our best to answer them. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Kiara.
All righty, thank you, Andrew.
Sorry about that. Actually, our director, Sam Sneed, is going to come back on to talk about some of our capital improvement projects that we're doing. So I'll hand it over to you, Sam.
So our county is also making some pretty large capital investments in transit. If you've noticed, we won several grants and we're implementing several bus shelters throughout the county. These bus shelters cover you from rain, sleet, snow, and sun, but they also have charging stations available within them. Some of our larger infrastructure includes the Parole Transit Center, which should start construction sometime next year. That'll be housed at the Harry S. Truman Park and Ride, just adjacent to all of the commuter bus routes that serve Baltimore, DC, Queen Anne's County. This structure will be important because it will not only have an outside section, but also an inside section with real-time data feeds of when buses will be arriving from different transit entities, not just ours. Also MTA, City of Annapolis, and any other entities who sign on to utilize the facility. There'll be 10 bus bays there in total. We're also expanding our transportation operations facility. As we grow our fleet to better accommodate customers and serve you all better, we are growing our transit operations facility at the Dorsey Road location. We purchased a piece of land a couple of years ago, and we are currently going through permitting and design, and we hope to break ground on that facility next year. Right now, we're on Aviation Boulevard, but we'll be moving our operations staff over to Dorsey Road, which is adjacent to the Cromwell Station in an optimal location in terms of our road network within the county. Early spring, we intend to advance construction at Arundel Mills Mall. We'll be expanding that particular bus hub so that it can accommodate more people and vehicles. And on the other side, which is the MGM facility, we'll be building our first standalone charging unit specifically for transit buses that operate in the county. As we transition our fleet to hybrid and electric, that'll be a key component. And the same goes for our transit operation facility, which will be built out with conduits for future charging at that particular location. We did secure a grant not too long ago, and we are presently going through the planning and implementation process for that grant for a low emission passenger ferry. This grant will allow us to purchase 2 ferries so that we can operate contiguous transit throughout the week between Annapolis, Queen Anne's County, and Baltimore City. We are presently working on an operations study in order to optimize our trip planning and passenger needs as we move forward with the process. The next step will be issuing an RFP for the capital portion of the grant, which is purchasing 2 vessels. And then after that, we'll have an RFP for the operations. I want to thank you all for taking the time today and calling in or watching on video. I have a very professional staff, and they really prepared for a long time to give you all this information, a wealth of information about our transit system. And I hope that you have some questions that we can answer as we move forward to the next phase of Q&A. I did want to highlight the fact that we do offer in-person transit trainings as well. I'm leaving a link here in the thank you sign that allows you to schedule those. That's where a group of people can set up a transit training so they can learn more about how to use the system. This is also being recorded, as Vincent stated, so you can always refer back to it as well as the slides. I'll pass it back over to Vincent as we open up the Q&A.
All right, thanks, Sam, and great job, everyone. All right, so we have some questions here in the chat. Let's get started with Pastor Sarah. Hi, Pastor. I hope you're doing well. Her question is, how can you improve the dependency of South County call and ride availability?
So this is a key question that we get for all of our transit system, really. In order to improve the availability, and accessibility of any of our routes, we require additional funding for drivers and additional funding for vehicles. As we go into the budget cycle this year, I would implore any county resident who wants improved transit service to advocate for an increase in the Office of Transportation budget. Without that budget, we are unable to offer more vehicle options and offer more times of service throughout the day. So that is the key piece there in terms of making vehicles available to more customers.
Thanks, Sam. The next one is Pingo the same as Ride Pingo?
Yes, they are one and the same. If you download that app, as Kiera stated, you could schedule your trip. I've used all the apps myself. I've also used the system as well to beta test. And if you have issues with the app, I really do encourage you to submit comments through our transit website, because that allows us to optimize our capabilities and ensure that we serve you all well. Any kind of constructive criticism related to our applications, our website, our services are appreciated.
All right, and this question says, will this presentation be provided after? And the answer is yes. We will provide this presentation after, along with a survey. The recording, the presentation, and a survey will come after this presentation. Let's see. What else we got? It's someone, and this might be an app functionality thing. I don't know if we'll be able to answer, but someone said, how can I get the northern area? It keeps defaulting to southern app. I'm guessing they're talking about Passio. Pingo.
So it really is dependent on the geolocation of your phone. So if right now you're within the southern area, it's going to default to whatever area you're within or whatever area you're closest to. The app is geolocation based, so you'll only be able to plan a trip within the zone when you're within the area. So you want to turn on your location-based services and ensure that you're in the northern zone to schedule the trip. You can also still call to schedule trips as well.
All right, this next question says, how do you interact with the Department of Aging's transportation?
We have a great partnership. We not only provide grant funding to them as a subrecipient, we also do community events such as the one we had last month where we engaged seniors with a lot of other departmental services available for the county. And we really work hand in hand with them.
All right. Earlier, Donna asked, or she said, OMG, did I see a bus going along Defense Highway / Route 450, or was I misreading the map? And Andrew, I believe you answered that, but Sam, did you want to elaborate?
Sure. Since that's within our zone for South County, that could be a possible reason why. It could also be a bus going along the Odenton-Annapolis route. It really depends where the service was being provided. It could have been a variety of different buses, either fixed route or zonal, depending on where you are on Defense Highway.
And then her second question was, well, the bus stop at Community is along that route.
So if I had the geolocation of where exactly on the route that would be, it would depend. If it's in a zonal route, we don't have physical bus stops. But if it's along the Odenton-Annapolis route, we do have bus stops available.
Thanks, Sam. Next question. Are you guys hiring drivers?
Yes, so the best course of action, since Transdev is our contracting company for drivers, go directly to the Transdev website. That's spelled TRANSDEV, Transdev. The operations GM for Transdev at the location is Eric Lance. and he's always welcoming new opportunity applicants.
Awesome. And this is more of a comment from Alvia. She said, "Thank you for providing a free route to BWI. That's a great service that saves us a lot of money."
Oh, you're welcome. We're really glad about launching that service, and we're hopeful that we can launch some more new services in the coming new year. What we do is every 6 months, we have what we call a route optimization meeting. We determine which routes are performing well, which stops maybe aren't performing so well. We'll eliminate some stops or add stops based on that meeting, and then we'll implement them at that 6 month point. And it really has made a difference in our ridership as we have been consistent with that optimization strategy over the last few years.
All right, next question. Can you use Google Maps instead of Passio Go to find the best routes?
You can use Google Maps, but I will say the best GTFS feed, which is the geolocational feed used, is on Passio Go. If you want to plan a route, Google Maps is possible because they actually pull from the Passio feed, but it's not always the most accurate. It's not always as accurate as the Passio Go feed. That'll be your most accurate feed. So how it actually works, just to get into the weeds, is Passio Go has devices on every bus for fixed routes. And that's a live, what they call GTFS feed, which is a geolocational feed. We also have free Wi-Fi on all of our buses. So even if our ops center went down, all of our buses are still in a live feed. So everyone will be able to see them. And it's a real resilience piece for us. Now, that feed goes to Transit Royale for our local bus service. It goes to Google Maps and it goes to Apple Maps. But the most accurate application for real-time fixed route service is Passio Go, either web-based or the application.
And I'll hop in to what Sam said with the Transit Royale app. For Anne Arundel County, you guys do receive a premium access to that application. So you could, like you said, plan your trips within Anne Arundel County or use other transit services to plan your trips to and from different places. So that is another great resource that you guys have for being in Anne Arundel County. You get premium access to the application for Transit Royale. So that's great.
All right.
Yeah, so if you want to plan a trip to go to Columbia Mall or somewhere in Greater Baltimore County or Baltimore City, that application will allow you to actually interlink your trips so that you could take an Anne Arundel County bus, transfer to the light rail, or transfer to a regional bus.
All right. Thank you both. Sam, how do you feel about a ferry across the Bay Bridge?
I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm hopeful that we'll get the continued support from our elected leaders to move forward with that project. It's very complicated as it involves partners as well. City of Annapolis, Queen Anne's County, and City of Baltimore. So we're working through those legal and other agreements that are required to implement the service, but I'm excited about it.
Awesome. This next question is from Mike, and I believe this is in reference to the South County Call and Ride. He says, "How can I confirm that my ride request has been scheduled?" He also goes on to say he had a little bit of a challenge and is concerned about reliability.
Okay. If you do schedule the ride through the application and you feel like you want to confirm, you can always call our number to make sure it's accurate. And that'll have that double protection of the app confirming your trip, but also the actual call center. So I'd call in the call number as well if you want that extra confidence.
All right, and I think you talked about this one a little bit, but someone anonymously asked, is there a bus from Cromwell Station to M&T Bank Stadium, which I believe falls outside of our service area, but is there a way for us to help plan that type of a trip?
Yeah, and that's a perfect prime example of why you should download the Transit Royal app. So the county actually pays for all residents and visitors to be able to access what they call Transit Royale services. This is an upgrade from the all the way up to the stadium. What you'll do is take a local bus service from your home to Cromwell Station, and then you'll be able to transfer to Cromwell, and that'll take you directly to M&T. That can all be done through trip planning on the Transit Royale app.
Thank you, Sam. Let's see what else we got here. Anonymous says, can the rides and ride and shares or ride shares, are they only within the green areas or can they be outside of the designated area? Like if someone lived in Edgewater, can they call and get a ride to Annapolis?
So you can only go within the zone for the call and ride, so you can't go outside of the zone. There are some areas within Edgewater, obviously accessible for county call and ride folks. But you can't go all the way into, let's say, like City Dock. You can only get to the edge of the zone, which does cover Pearl. Then you'd have to transfer to a local City of Annapolis bus or use one of their option services. They do have their own Go service, but that is a paid service.
All right, and then T. Douglas asked, what about the Veterans Hospital in Baltimore?
Yes, we do service the VA hospital in Baltimore with paratransit.
Thank you, Kira. And someone asked, is Transit Royale the same as Transit in the App Store?
Yes.
So it should be under Transit app, yes.
Okay. Let's see. All right, our nonprofit organization has approximately 80 residents that live throughout Anne Arundel County in our recovery homes under Opportunity Ministries. Approximately 60 residents live in the Glen Burnie area in 5 of our homes. Is there a packet or some type of summarization sheet that you can provide for us to hand out to residents who many do not have their own transportation that can have this information on hand?
So there are 3 different ways to get information in the hands of people. Folks can go to aacounty.org/transit. That's our website. It has all the brochure information. We also have YouTube videos which explain how to use each service. Another way is our physical handouts, and Jessica Charles Allen manages the handout of that particular material. She can share that with you if you provide your contact information in the chat. She can either meet up with you and provide you with that information or mail it out to you. We also provide physical media at libraries, several locations within the Glen Burnie area. And then, of course, you could use, our applications as well. So that's a good way. And then the transit training. If you have a group of people that are really interested in tapping our services, we'll set up a transit training for that group of people.
All right. All right. Are there any restrictions with the call and ride services within the service area? This anonymous submission says that sometimes customers call in and unfortunately they're unable to book. So they want to know if there are any restrictions.
So there are a couple restrictions. Unless you are 18, you cannot book a trip without a permissions slip for ages 13 to 17. So if you're 13 and you try to schedule a trip, you'd have to have a permissional slip from an adult. Also, trips can't be scheduled after a certain time in the day because essentially they have to be all planned out and all services stop at 7 o'clock. So if you try to schedule a trip at 6:45, to get somewhere and get back, that wouldn't be able to be scheduled. I'd also encourage people to call the day before if you have early morning trips. Let's say if you had to be in a certain area in the morning, the northern part of South County call and ride, you should call the day prior and try to get that scheduled. The other piece is overbooking. Because these services are popular and they are free, and we have a limited number of vehicles in each zone, if all 3 vehicles are booked throughout the day, then we don't have availability. You will have to book another day or use a different service alternative.
Thanks, Sam. And another ferry question. Have you conducted a cost comparison between ferry service versus bus service over the same route? Seems ferry service would be significantly more expensive.
Yep, so there was actually a larger Chesapeake Bay ferry study that was completed to justify the application for the grant funding. There are parallel considerations for transit service, which would also involve an inter-county partnership. And there is actually already a transit route that serves between Queen Anne's and Anne Arundel County, operated by Queen Anne's County's transit system.
Okay, let's see. All right. This one's from Jaron. Thank you for the helpful information so far. I work at Annapolis High School, and one of the biggest needs our families consistently share is transportation. I'm trying to learn more about that to better inform our school community. Right now, I believe families who live within Annapolis city limits and rely on public transit often need to take Annapolis City Transit to the mall and then transfer to a county bus to reach our school. Are there any current or future partnerships between Anne Arundel County Transportation and Annapolis City Transportation to better align routes or reduce the number of transfers, especially for families trying to attend extracurricular events, support their students, or get to important school meetings?
So as of now, that transfer must occur because there are 2 different jurisdictions. In order for City of Annapolis to directly serve Anne Arundel County, they'd have to expand their routes. I can't speak to their budgetary constraints, but I would say that if you want them to expand their routes, also advocate on behalf of City of Annapolis Transit so that they can expand their physical footprint. And the same goes for us as we look at different possible routes. Our nexus is the mall, as people can transfer to our free routes at that point in time. To move any further west into Annapolis, we just have to have a joint agreement with the city and increase budget so that we can go further into the city. We do have routes that cross over, and I understand some frustration that you have to transfer to a free service after being on a paid service, but without expansion further into the city, those are the present routes available, and the nexus is Annapolis Mall.
All right. Let's see if you're able to answer this one. How long does it take to get from the Annapolis Mall to BWI Airport?
So you can take the BWI Express and use our Passio Go app and then trip plan with our transit app. So it really depends on what time you leave, but the actual trip itself is definitely under an hour.
All right. Thanks, transportation team. That's all the questions we have in the queue for today. Is there anything you want to close out with, Sam?
I just want to encourage everyone on the webinar to try our free buses. I do want folks to understand that some of our buses are running on-demand transit. So if a bus goes by your particular bus stop, it might not actually be serving that bus stop. It might be an on-demand bus taking someone from a location to another location. So make sure you do have your app pulled up to determine whether that is actually a bus for that particular stop. But our transit's free. I really encourage you to get aboard, use it as an optional trip. It's a safe, accessible way to get to and from places throughout the county. We accommodate customers of all abilities and capabilities. So I really encourage you to continue to use our system if you already started. And I encourage you to advocate for our system as we go into this budget cycle so that we could grow and increase our frequency. We'd love to be at half-hour headways on every one of our routes, not just a select few. And we really do want to thank those that already ride. In the last 3 months, our ridership has exploded. We've gone from averaging around 10,000 a month from the beginning of COVID to over 44,000 a month in riders. And I think it'll continue to grow as you all take this knowledge and spread it to the greater Anne Arundel community. And I appreciate you attending this webinar today.
All right. Thank you, Sam, and thank you to our fantastic transportation team. And thank you to all of you for being here today to learn more about the services we offer. I hope you found this presentation informative and helpful, as many of you are noting in the chat right now. Please keep an eye out for an email from me with the recording of this presentation, the presentation you saw on your screen, and also a quick survey to hear your thoughts on this. And thank you once again for joining us. And as always, keep engaging, Arundel. Thank you all.